So we made it to La Liga once again. Playoffs, final 8 teams. It's going to be a home and away type of thing. We got 2 games on Wednesday. Let's get right into it. We got America first at home coming in with, I believe it's the number 7 spot against Toluca, who got the second place spot. Now, if history is repetitive a little bit, then the team that had the least amount of activities leading up into the playoffs are usually the team who ends up slacking and does not perform how they did for the rest of the season. America just came off a very emotional win up against Tijuana in Tijuana and won that in a penalty shootout. And I think that kind of gives them the advantage. They're already feeling good. They're just more active. I think Toluca has taken just way too much time off. I don't think they're going to come in to be the same dominant team that they have been all season, even though they did give America a pretty big ass whooping for a 4-0 shutout. And I believe that was in America's home. The Azteca, I don't believe, is active right now, if I remember correctly. So they did get the win in what is considered at the moment America's home. But I think just with America being active recently, I think they're favored here for good reason. I'm going to take America on the money line. And both teams, the score is juiced. The over is juiced. I think they're kind of trying to tell us something. I see the highest scoring half a little bit juiced too. I'm going to take that one for even money as well. I think these are going to be my 2 plays, at least for this game. So highest scoring second half. The second half is going to be the more higher scoring half, in my opinion. And I'm going to take America straight up on the money line. I think Toluca just comes in a little bit too slow. Okay, second game for the playoff on Wednesday for La Liga final 8. Now, we got Cruz Azul, who was the first place team all season. Tijuana, who ended up catching that final 8th spot. Again, same thing that I said for the Toluca America game. I'm going to take both of the teams that have just been a little bit more active in more recent weeks. I think Cruz Azul and Toluca both have just had way too much time off in the past playoff season. The team that has a lot of rest and just has not had any activity, they usually don't do well in these playoff spots. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm taking Tijuana drawing the double chance at a good price, -128. If you're going to bet heavy on anything, I would say probably bet on that. It's a good price. And then Cruz Azul, I think they're just a little bit too heavily favored, especially when we haven't seen anything out of them, no activity out of them in the last couple of weeks. So I'm taking Tijuana drawing the double chance. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. And I think this is going to be a very tight game. I think Cruz Azul comes in a little bit sluggish. Tijuana sneaks in. Maybe something like a 1-0 game. You know, you have the both teams to score, the yes and the no. The lines are very tight right there. So I think this is going to come down to the wire, going to come down to the last minute. Or it's just going to be a 1-0 game for either side. But I think with Tijuana being more active, I think they get the job done and then probably get smacked up in El Estadio Azul. And when Cruz Azul has to play their home game, I think Tijuana gets smacked up over there. But as far as this first game, I think, again, Cruz Azul and Toluca, I think they both just come in way too sluggish from having no activity. So those are my predictions for Wednesday. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know if you're even going to be watching these playoffs, man. I know some, maybe Tijuana is probably not the most exciting team for some of you guys, but I know everybody's going to be tuning into that America Toluca game. They want to know what happens. And I know most of you are probably hoping America gets smacked up again. But, hey, history tells us the teams with more rest usually come in sluggish.